Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear humanity, I say to you, Happy New Year to everyone. And today I've come to discuss health, your responsibilities as individuals to your bodies, your health, as well as the beauty of being a human being and the responsibilities you have to take to make sure that your body is not a property to scrupulous gamblers. What I mean by that? That over the last year, and some of you were a little bit younger. Now you gained a year older. Maybe if you were 10, now you are 11. If you are 16, you are 17. If you are 17, you are 18. If you are 20, you are 21 or something like that. The reason why we are discussing the topic of health is because of the responsibilities you as human beings and individuals to look after and respect the bodies in which you are as living human beings. To respect and love the bodies in which you are dressed as human beings. When you are given life as a human being, nobody else can live that life for you except yourself. And life consists of happiness, and happiness is supposed to be the greatest and the most valuable property to every human body on this planet. So, when you are a human, it's your responsibility, not the responsibility of a doctor or a physician or whatever physician or whatever they call themselves, to look after your health, to eat things that are not harmful to your body, to think and reason with a clean mind, which has no contaminations of racism and bigotry and sadistic ideologies that contaminate the mind. Because if the mind is contaminated, that can easily lead to disease within your entire red and white blood system, which manages and builds every muscle on your body. So we are discussing health. Health, what are your responsibilities, you as an individual, to your own body, that you keep your body clean, not as a pain store to yourself, as well as not a pain store to others. So, today, the topic is health. What are your responsibilities, you as an individual, to your own health? Or today, when it comes if it comes that now you've taken responsibility of yourself, what are your responsibilities towards other human beings? How do you view other human beings around you? What do you think of other human beings around you? Do you consider them by the color of their skin? Do you look at them by the status of their financial capabilities? Or do you think that they are the law of the law, who are not educated, who have not been to institutions institutions to gain some knowledge about health, about how they should live? The reason I'm presenting this healthy tips to young men and women is to guide human beings to understand and live their lives free of intoxication of things that are dangerous, are hazards, are harmful to their bodies. Things which are dangerous to a human body, they are things that are by divine law, divine holy law, those things are forbidden. Take, for instance, alcohol. Many of you have been celebrating the past Christmas, and now you are in the New Year, and also you celebrated over the festives of the New Year by maybe most of you getting over drunk. You binged. You wasted your mind and said that I'll drown my whatever in a bottle of alcohol, and you found yourself the next day that you could not lift the head off the pillow because of the pounding headaches of hangover, or hangover headaches that were pounding your head, and you couldn't make sense of what to do with the headaches or the pounding hangover headaches in your head. So I'm going to, as I said, we are discussing health. One thing you should know as an individual, or a woman or a man, or young men and women, is that your life, you are responsible for your life. If you came to me as a doctor or a physician, my responsibility is to show you that you are irresponsible with your own health. You are irresponsible with your own health. I, as a surgeon, I, a doctor, I cannot live there. I cannot live your life for you. All I have to do is tell you, be responsible and don't override the body mechanisms and capabilities and happiness and whatever that makes a human body pain-free by not consuming alcohol. Alcohol is forbidden by a divine law, a divine holy law. That divine holy law tells men and women that do not engage in alcohol consumption. Why? Because you were celebrating Christmas, you overdrank, and you couldn't wake up the next day, you couldn't lift the head off the pillow because of the pounding headaches or hangover headaches. Because your head was the headaches were pounding every bit of your head, and you couldn't make sense of what was going on. So today, I'll tell you why you should look after your health as an individual. Respect that life that you are, the life that you should not get into what you call hangover headaches, pounding headaches of headache. What you should do, as I said, alcohol is forbidden by divine natural law and by the divine holy command of Allah. He who created the universe told all living human beings that do not put alcohol in your bodies. Why? Alcohol, once it enters your body, it disables every electrical spasm in the red and white blood system, but red and white blood cells in a human body. Alcohol contains what we call toxin gunk, toxics that embeds themselves, or they attach themselves to the red and white blood cells, and once they attach their the gunk of alcohol, the toxic gunk of alcohol onto the red and white blood cells, that triggers or attack the red blood cells and the white blood cells, which causes the collapse or the disable of this disablement of the red and white blood cells, so that they cannot carry oxygen to the brain neurons in the brain of a human being. So that causes the brain neurons in the brain of in the head of a human being to go into partial paralysis, or to be disabled, we would say. Your brain neurons enters a phase, a paralysis, because the red and white blood cells have been disabled by alcohol gunk, toxins that are very dangerous, that they disable, or electrical spasms in every red and white blood cells in a human body. That's why we who created you, we say, do not engage in alcohol consumption, because it disables your mind and you lose any sense of reasoning, accountability. With that, once your brain neurons are disabled or in a state of paralysis, you cannot make any what we call meaningful speech. You cannot articulate reason. You cannot articulate reason or any reasoning accountability of what you speak, or what even recognize who you are as an individual. So your brain neurons are disabled. You are in a state of a disabled mind. The brain is cut off. It has no oxygen. So you cannot reason. You cannot articulate a meaningful speech, and you cannot stand on two legs if your brain is disabled by alcohol or alcohol toxic gunk. So young men and women, the responsibility to look after your bodies in a manner that you don't make your bodies as painful stores, or what we call a painful store. What we call a pain store is whereby your legs are paining you the next day, like your head was pounding, that you couldn't make sense, or you couldn't lift it off the pillow. So the next thing is your legs are also kind of painful. You can't lift them, and your stomach and your whatever, every part of you is filled with is circulated with toxic alcohol gunk. And for your information, a human body does not have the mechanisms, or does not know how to remove toxin, alcohol gunk from the body of a human being. The human body does not have the mechanisms, it does not know the human body. When you created the human body, the reason why we set a divine holy law for men not to drink alcohol, because the human body does not have the mechanisms, the mechanisms and how to remove toxic alcohol gunk, toxins from the human body. Once alcohol enters your body, it will just sit and circulate in the entire blood system, causing the malfunction of the entire red and white blood cell rotation, sequencing rotation systems, mechanism, causing things like causing the sequencing rotation of red and white blood cells to mutate into things that some of these things can cause cancers, mutating red blood cell into cancers, early cancers in young men and women, in their livers, losing the normal rotation and cycles and application that within the red blood cells to manage the body of a human being. So when you do drink alcohol, it damages every part of your body, and it does not come out of the human. Alcohol does not come out of the human body because the human body does not have the mechanisms, does not know how to remove alcohol toxic gunk from the system, because once alcohol toxic gunk toxins enters the human body's red blood system, it attaches its whatever toxins onto the red and white blood cells, causing them to lose the normal sequencing rotation cycles that manages the human body to be able to build and build muscles and what have you. And with this disablement of red and white blood cells in the human body, in women, young women, if a woman starts drinking when she's young, she will get what we call genetic alteration of the genetic structures of her body, which will cause the mutation of her blood genetics to translate or to become altered, and cause that girl, if she produces a child, that child will be affected with what we call medical disorders because of the genetic alteration caused by alcohol in her body, in her body. Because when a woman drinks alcohol, the entire elements of toxins, gunk, toxin, ends up in the ovaries of a woman or the reproductive system of a woman, causing the entire system to be clogged and embedded and clogged and stained and damaged by the toxic alcohol toxin gunk that causes a woman to have painful menstrual cycles every time she goes into menstrual cycles, or either to have irregular menstrual cycles, or not to have irregular menstrual, or not to lose her cycles sometimes permanently. And with those cycles, if she goes into her menstrual cycles, they will be irregular, they will be painful too, because alcohol embeds the entire elements of toxic alcohol toxins, gunk in the ovaries, in the entire reproductive system of a woman, which translates that woman, her genetics have been altered, genetic structures have been altered by alcohol, which leads or which creates a genetic disorder in her offsprings, if she has one or she produces children, because they'll be affected, because once the alcohol toxic gunk in the ovaries of a woman, they embed on the lining where the egg sits in the ovaries, waiting to get fertilized. They embed the mucus on the lining of the egg, where the egg is supposed to sit and wait to be fertilized by a sperm. Once the egg sits on alcohol toxic mucus of gunk toxins, those gunk of toxins attacks the egg in the ovaries of a woman, causing alteration, genetic alteration of the egg, which is passed on to the offspring of that child or of that woman as a disorder, a medical disorder in a child, may either psychological disorder or a disorder, and what you call diseases that can be what you call they become diseases that are hereditary, passed on from generation to generation, because the genetics have been altered by the gunk mucus in the lining of the ovaries that were deposited there by the woman who was drinking alcohol every day, thinking that she's having joy with her life. So she has passed on a disease to her children. Some children are severely damaged genetically, that they need support from the very day they are born until they leave this planet. So, young men, this message is for you as young men and women. The responsibility to look after your health, not making your health or your body a pain store, is your responsibility as an individual, not a doctor's responsibility or a physician or a surgeon in the ICU, or ICU intensive care unit, whatever. The responsibility to respect and love your body and keep your body free from pain is on you as a young girl out there, as a young man out there. I don't know whether you understand the language I'm saying, because I'll give you something very clear, something very simple. When alcohol toxic gunk is in your blood system, it alters the sequencing rotation of white and red blood cells, as well as altering the sequencing, what you call spasms, electrospasms in the brain as well as in the heart, causing the heart to go out of order. It's no more natural order, which causes a person to feel sometimes they will go and find out the thing they have, the heart gets a problem. The entire body becomes affected because the electrical spasms and whatever can no longer do their what you call sequencing cycle rotations normally the way they used to do, because they are attached by on them the alcohol gunk has attached the gunk on the blood cells, so they cannot function properly. They are disabled. So your heart goes into what you find that you will need either to be operated, to have an open heart surgery to put your heart together, and that is also a very temporary procedure, because the original cause of the disorder of your heart and your body organs is not the heart itself, it's the cells, the disablement of the red and white blood cells in your body, that the alcohol you put in your body did kind of alter and damage and disable the sequencing rotation of electric spasms that goes to the brain and into the heart, so that your body organs are working properly. So that is the original cause of that, but not the heart itself, because the heart, you can easily say it can no longer do the whatever properly. Why? Because the disablement began with the toxic gunk attacking the red blood cells in the entire human body system, because the red and white blood cells are responsible for making and growing every section of the part of the body of a human being. So you've been attacked, and you've drunk alcohol, and you need to be put on an ICU, intensive care unit, and taken into an intensive care unit to be open, to have an open heart surgery, so that they repair your heart, which is a temporary and sometimes a useless procedure, because if you do not repair the damage that was caused to the red and white blood cells, and you turn to the heart, the difference is that maybe you will have a whatever for a few days, but you'll be on medication for the entire life of the entire whatever of your lifespan on planet Earth. And that is what we call making your body a pain store. Young men and women, do you want your body to be a pain store to you? Or do you want to look after it and respect it and love your body and your health and give it that what it's supposed to give you back as good health, not to attack you by making you to live in a pain store, whereby you are the attendant of the pain store, and you are the beneficiary of the pain store, and everything that is in that pain store belongs to you because you are solely responsible for that pain store which you've caused because you went against a holy divine law which prohibits, which commands that men and women should not drink alcohol. This message is directed to young women and men of tomorrow, not the older people, because the older people maybe they don't understand this language. They don't understand the language because I don't want you to fall in the same trap as those who are already there. Those who are already there with the older people, they've been in a culture whereby every year they have to end the year by drinking and going out of their mind, that they cause damage to the brain neurons. And after a few whatever years or months, you find that a person is suffering from dementia, suffering from kidney failure, kidney problems, body organs problems, suffering from dementia, kidney, and so many complications. So young men and women, it's your responsibility, not me as a surgeon's responsibility, to live in what you've made your body to be a pain store. You are the attendant of the pain store, and you are the beneficiary of the pain store. That is, you've turned your body to. Nobody else is responsible for that. You should look after your body, respect your body, and protect it from either there's some men they say they are doctors. I think some of those who say they are doctors, they are what we call scrupulous gamblers. Would you like to hand over your life to a scrupulous gambler, or to look after it pain-free? Look after it very well and protect it from any harm from others. And that if you protect your body from harm from others, the same do not dispense harm to others. The same way you wouldn't like to live in a pain store, and you shouldn't give pain to others. So my advice about this message, that many of you experienced what you call pounding hangover headaches after the night of New Year's Eve, or the New Year Eve and Christmas. All those days you've been going through what we call drinking and extravagant drinking. Some of you, you woke up and you didn't know where you were. You went to a club or you went to a place. You went with someone else. You left. You found when you woke up you were in a different part of the country with people you don't know. Maybe even though you don't know who of those people you ended up slept with you, what disease they had. And one thing to tell you about disease and alcohol. Alcohol is a fuel that drives disease from one human to another human. at a speed that a rocket is made to look like an old man on a stick, a walking stick. Alcohol is a fuel that drives disease in human beings at a speed that speed makes a rocket. I think you in your human understand you think that a rocket is the first thing that a humankind has ever manufactured, but a rocket speed looks like a man walking on a stick with a stick because of the pain in his legs and his back. So he takes about 4 seconds to lift one leg, and then he waits, and then I lift the other. That is how a rocket is compared to the speed of which the disease that the fuel alcohol does have. The fuel as an alcohol to spread the disease makes the rocket speed, the rocket speed, as look like an old man of 80 years who walks after thinking and then trying to help himself. Alcohol is a fuel, a very, very deadly fuel for spreading disease, human to human, and sometimes it can help. Alcohol can drive men to pass diseases from human to animals, or to animals, and so on and so on. So, my people, take note of what I've said. Alcohol is forbidden by divine holy law, that do not put alcohol in your bodies, because once you do, you lose any reasoning accountability of yourself as well as those around you. And with that, you lose the ability to articulate even meaningful speech with the people around you. If you're a woman, you lose the to articulate reason to security of your own body, because naturally, women, you are very vulnerable, whether you have alcohol in your body or not. But when you put alcohol in your body and you lose any sense of reasoning accountability, any sex predator will use that against you and make you do things that you wouldn't like to do, or to find out maybe that you did this last night or that, or less, whatever. So, young women and women, young men, respect the bodies that you are living in as human beings. Because you as individuals, you are responsible for your bodies, not anybody else, not a surgeon. A surgeon in an ICU operation or whatever, his responsibility is to tell you, next time don't be so irresponsible that you end up making me split your chest open to give you what we call a temporary procedure while you are fighting for your life, a temporary procedure to try and tell you that maybe don't use alcohol next time. Look after yourself, because once your heart is split open, the pain that you are going through, it's not me, the surgeon, that does go through that pain. It's you. It's you who was irresponsible, thinking that you are binging, you are enjoying, while you are damaging your brain as well as the entire body organs in your body. And blood is also an organ which should be respected by every human being. And for the medical practitioners around the world, do get this in your records as well. Blood is what we made that runs and builds every muscle on a human body. That blood, its origin is Islam. The red and white blood cells in a human body, its origin is Islam. And the religion of the sun in the sky is Islam. And the religion of the moon in the sky is Islam. And the religion of planet Earth is Islam. And the religion of that is produced, the creations that are produced by planet Earth as creations that human beings consume to eat, or what they do eat, all those creations, the religion of those creations is Islam. So when you are practicing your medicine, what have you, remember that if the religion of the sun in the sky was different from the religion of the red and white blood system in the human body, I think you as a medical practitioner, you don't need rocket science to know that it will be very complicated for human beings to live on planet Earth or to live under the sun when their religion is different from that of the sun. That's all I can say. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Humanity, look after your bodies and respect the religion of Islam. It's from the religion of Islam, the most holy, beautiful religion, that you all living human beings were created. You may like to hear that, or you may not like to hear that. But I have said it to you. You are all living Muslims on this planet. Respect the divine laws that governs a human body. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.